Welcome to Tech in the Car. I'm Oliver and this is a brand new 2022 Hyundai Tucson.
Now you might have seen this car quite a lot recently. In the new Spider-Man movie, Hyundai have a lot of presence. You see the Ioniq 5. You can check out my video on the channel. Big thank you to Brooklyn Hyundai in Seaford. They're the ones that lent me this car. Please give them a visit. They're fantastic and they'll help you out if you're after a car. Now, what's different with this? This is the 4th generation. Well, there are some big differences. It's a totally new design. It looks much more sophisticated in upmarket. It looks more like one of its German competitors. We've got this new parametric front grille with hidden LED lights, and it looks really angry like a shark from the front. We've got a wholly new interior, which is beautiful, really, really high quality. 10.25-inch display screens inside, and at the back we got new lights as well. It's a much more sophisticated vehicle, and this is the Ultimate Edition. This is the 1.6-litre turbocharged with a electric motor which puts out 230 horsepower and brings back about 50 miles per gallon. It's more than that, in fact. And this car costs £37,000 roughly for the Ultimate Edition. So this is a really fantastic value car. It's got all the technology I'm going to show you in a second. Looks really good, and it's a really good price. It's actually fantastic value. So, you know, already I really like this car, and we haven't even got into the details yet. What has changed in the dimensions? Well, this car is now 4,500 millimeters long and 1,865 millimeters across, and depending on the trim level, whether you go for SE Connect, the Premium and the Ultimate Edition, then you can end up with between 17 and 19-inch wheels. This is the Ultimate Edition, so it has 19-inch wheels on it. And again, you can see it's got a very aggressive looking side body line, which I really like the look of. It definitely has that road presence, and when people see you coming up behind, they move out the way, even if you're not in a rush, because it does look very aggressive. It's definitely a looker of a car, there's no doubt about that. And there is a ton of space in the back as well here, and I'll show you in a minute when I get in here, but there's a ton of space, and the interior, as you can see, is absolutely beautiful. Design touches on the back. I love this kind of fin at the back here, this shark fin. I don't know if that's what they would call it, but it kind of looks a bit like a shark fin, or maybe tiger's teeth, perhaps, I don't know. Shark teeth maybe. You've got them actually here along the side of the car on the wheel, and again at the front we've got like these little vents here. So there's lots of interesting lines. There's sort of a V-shaped line here, there's a V-shaped line here. It's a very cool design. So this car has got a longer wheelbase than the previous generation, but how about space inside the car? Well, I can tell you that there is a lot of space back here. I mean, you can see it. This front seat's actually quite far back, so I had space in the front there to put stuff in the front of the seat. So this is quite far back, and there's still a lot of space here, a lot of space above my head, and with this panoramic glass roof, it's super airy back here. We've got 2 USBs in the middle here. We've got a climate control zone here where you can turn the heating up and down, and it's very nice back here. We've got this beautiful cream material, and then we also have shutters back here which you can pull up for privacy and to keep the sun out as well. Not very easy to do one-handed, but hopefully you get the idea there. And again, we got space here for cups, and it's just a really nice interior, very comfortable seats. There's a lot of space. It's very airy. You don't feel cramped back here. There's enough space quite happily to carry 3 people in the back here. The middle might be a tiny bit cramped because all middle seats are a bit cramped unless they're actual seats, but there's a lot of space here. We've got netting here as well. So it's a really impressive interior. In fact, when I get into the front, I'm going to talk about how it compares to German competitors and how maybe their quality has been decreasing recently. So let's have a look. So obviously this car does have an automatic boot. As you can see, you can control it from the key fob, or you can press the button on the top here. So in the back of the car here, I've got all my camera equipment right now, and you can see there's a lot of space back here. You can fit plenty of things back here. This has got a protective cover on the back here, so you can put your dog back there. There's also under storage here under the boot, so you can put some stuff here. Right now it's got the tire fixing kit. There's 12 volt, and there are obviously hooks and tethers back here, and you can put back the seats by pressing this button here, and the seats will go down automatically. And then if you get rid of the parcel shelf, you can see there's an awful lot of space back here to fit stuff in here. You know, easily you could fit a 65-inch TV back here. There's plenty of space, and it's great that the back seats actually fold down using the button on here. You do have to push them back to get them back, however. It's not going to return it, but still, that's a lot easier than it could be. And of course it's automatic again, I can just press it and it will go down like that. And at the back here, this light bar looks very distinctive. It looks a bit like a Mustang with these sort of V-shaped down lights here. We've got these kind of teeth marks again, which continue that kind of aggressive look. And it's very distinctive. We've got a different color bottom diffuser, and we've got two exhaust pipes which are kind of squared off a bit like the old style Mercedes there, and we've got a little spoiler. There are roof bars as well. It's just got a really, really imposing look to it, which I've already said a couple of times. I really like how this car looks. The other thing which you can do too, which is very, very cool, which I will show you in a minute, is you can start the car remotely from the key fob and move it. Let's have a look at the remote parking feature. So first of all, we get the remote control. We double press on the lock button, and then we press and hold on the hold button, and then the car will turn on. You can hear it turn on. There we go. And then I can press the button to move it forwards. The lights will turn on, and the car will move forwards by itself until I let go of the button, and then it will stop. Now if we go around to the back, I can do the same thing. Let's get it to reverse, back button. And now the car will reverse by itself. This is great if you have a tight parking spot and maybe you can't get out of it. Doors can't open wide enough because it's too tight. This will help you. This is the Ultimate Edition. There are other versions available, but this is the top spec. And inside it is unbelievably luxurious. I think there's definitely a trend towards newer German premium cars such as Audi. I point out here, the car now just went into EV mode. It started with the engine on, and now it's gone into EV mode and it's totally silent. There's a tendency with new German cars, you just have to look at my review of the Audi RS3. As much as I love that car, the qualities of the materials inside have suffered. They aren't as good as the quality materials inside, despite being about half the price of an RS3, feels 10 times more luxurious. The seats are comfortable, they look amazing in this color. There's little details in the perforated leather here. There's nice contrast. We've got a nice big 10-inch screen, 10.25-inch screen here, 10.25-inch screen here. The wheel feels really premium. You know, it's just got everything. We've got heated and ventilated seats, which you don't get on the new RS3. We've got a wireless charger, which you don't get on the new Audis because they removed them because they can't make them due to the chip shortages. It's just a fantastic interior in here. There's two USBs down here. Like I said, there's wireless charging. We've got our 3-zone climate control on this particular car because this is Ultimate Edition. Others have the 2-zone climate control, which are here. But we've got a 3rd zone back here, which I showed you when I was in the back of the car. And it just feels fantastic in here. This sunroof is so airy and light and brings in so much light. It makes a huge difference to this car. We've got the Krell audio system in here, which gives you much better speaker sound. And we've got obviously just a fantastic interior. I've said this once, I'll say it again. I really, really like being inside this car. I do want to point out some interesting similarities with the Kia EV6 in here, because this center console design in here is very much like the EV6, which I also did a video on. Very simple to put this car into drive. There's a D, there's an N, and there's an R button. I mean, you can't get any easier than that. And then P for park. We've got our auto hold. We've got our brake button here, handbrake button, which you probably don't need to use if you've got auto hold on. And then we've got our drive modes, which go between eco and sport, which I talk about in the driving section. At the top here, we have our 360 camera. Yes, this car has a beautiful 360 camera, which lets you see everything around you, lets you see what's going on with the wheels. It's just fantastic to be able to park a car and know exactly where it is. No more curbing the wheels, because this does have really nice wheels where you don't want to curb. We've got the start button here. It's just very, very intuitive and easy to understand. On the side here, we have our stability control and our boot opening button. It's just all very, very sensible. Our buttons here for the memory seat settings. When I get in and get out, the seat moves forwards and backwards, just like you would expect in a top-end premium car, which costs 50 or 60,000 pounds. This car costs less than 40,000 pounds. It's just super nice in here. It really is. I know I've said that several times, but I was immediately impressed at the quality that Hyundai have put into this car for the price point. You know, it goes straight to the top of the value here, like 5 out of 5 when we get to my score in the value, because I mean, it has everything. But what about the driving? Let's go for a drive.
This is the £37,000 Ultimate Edition, and this is a hybrid with a 1.6 litre engine with 230 horsepower. And being a hybrid, it means that obviously you get lots of benefits, including the ability to drive on electric when you start the car and when you're maybe tootling around town going very slowly in traffic. That means you get much better economy, over 50 miles per gallon, and it also means that then the engine can kick on and give you that boost when you need it, so you don't have to ever worry about range. Now the truth is, Hyundai make an amazing electric car already, the Ioniq 5, and you can check out my video review on the channel, and it has a great range of around 300 miles as it is. So as electric cars get more advanced, the range isn't really so much of an issue anymore than maybe it was before. But this car, if anyone that is concerned about range anxiety, and for anybody that wants the best of both, is a fantastic car. This is of course available as a non-hybrid model, but I'm driving the hybrid and it's very, very smooth and very, very comfortable to drive. In terms of interior technology, we've got two 10.25-inch screens, we've got Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, Hyundai's fantastic online connected services, which is included for free for 5 years. Let's not also forget the Hyundai warranty for 5 years on all their cars, which is really fantastic value. And then inside this car, I have to be 100% honest with you, the quality is fantastic. I mean, like, there's really soft plastics, there's leather, it just feels fantastic. This color interior, which is available as standard on the Ultimate Edition, it makes it look even nicer because it's got that cream color inside, which makes the interior lighter. We've got a massive panoramic sunroof which goes all the way back, which again adds to the airiness. It's just a really, really comfortable quality place to be. And I think it's fair to say you only need to watch my reviews of the 2022 Audi RS3 to see that the quality of German car companies is going down. They're making less good feeling interiors, they're using less high quality materials, and when you get into a really expensive Audi, it doesn't feel as good as it used to, even in the less expensive models. And that's not just Audi, that's Mercedes, that's BMW, that's everyone. They save the quality for the higher end. However, with Hyundai, everything now is feeling a notch above. Everything is feeling higher quality. It's not just this car, which is the Ultimate Edition version of the hybrid. All Hyundais feel better, higher quality, nicer materials. The Korean car companies, Kia included, are making steps up to make their interiors even better and feel better. 5 years ago, you wouldn't have ever expected to have a Hyundai with all of these fantastic features in them, with all of the driver assistance features, the lane assist, the adaptive cruise control, with the digital displays, with, I mean, memory seats, heated and cooled seats. All these things wouldn't have been in any of those cars, and now they're here and they feel better and arguably are easier to use than their equivalent German rivals. So I really, really love what Hyundai have been doing with their cars recently, and it's really exciting to be able to drive their latest. This has amazing road presence. When you see it coming, you see those lights, kind of like an angry shark in front of you. From the back, it kind of looks like a Ford Mustang. So from the front, it looks like a shark. From the back, it looks like an angry horse, apparently. And it's just got so much road presence. It really, really does. You see it coming, and people give way for this car. Even if you don't want them to give way, they see it and they go, oh, that looks angry. I'm gonna let you pass. So they let you pass, which is very, very fun to have happen. So really, really great interior, very comfortable to drive, really good fuel economy. I mean, there's absolutely nothing that you could say badly about this car. It really isn't. If you're looking for a mid-size SUV, this is a fantastic car in terms of value, in terms of features, in terms of quality. It has everything. One of the benefits you get when you have an electric car and a hybrid is that torque at the bottom. When you first start off, you get that instant torque from the electric motor, which then complements the engine to fill in any gaps in the power band. And that is something which is really, really clever, how hybrids can use that electric motor to work with the engine in the car, so you get the best of both, and that's something which I really, really like. We have two drive modes on this car, Eco and Sport. So now we're in Eco, and you can see the dials are blue in front of me here. And then when I put it into sport, they turn red with a really cool animation. Let's just look at that again. That's so cool. Going back to blue, eco, going to red. Really, really cool. It's got a cool carbon fiber graphic going on there as well. Difference in drive modes. Well, in sport, you definitely feel like maybe the electric motor isn't at its fullest power levels. You feel like maybe there's a bit of power being held back, a bit of torque being held back for more economy. When you put your foot down, after a few seconds, it kind of comes back to you. If you put it into sport, immediately you feel a lot more go, which you would expect because it's giving you the maximum performance of both parts of the car. What is particularly interesting about this is there isn't a huge amount of difference between these two modes. They are actually very, very similar. In terms of real world usage, I don't know how much difference there would be in miles per gallon between using them, because if you're driving down at 30 miles an hour, even in sport mode, I'm sure you're not using any more power up and any more fuel economy than if you're driving in eco, because they feel very, very similar to me. So I would say sport is really good if you need that little bit of oomph to overtake maybe, but otherwise there isn't too much difference in the modes, which is interesting. In terms of driving, it feels the same to me. Now what about in terms of steering? I mean, this is an SUV. You've got really good visibility. That's something which obviously is really, really key with a SUV. You can see easily what's around you and you can easily place the car. And despite this car being a medium-sized SUV, we have a full 360 camera, which means it's really easy to park. And this car can even be parked and pulled forwards and backwards using the key on the remote control. So it's got a lot of cool tech in the ultimate version of this car. So what's my final Tech in the Car score? Let's go back and see what I think. My Tech in the Car rating is 28 out of 30. 4 out of 5 for comfort. It's an SUV. It's very, very comfortable. 5 out of 5 for connectivity. It's got the app and all the connected services. Driver assistance. 5 out of 5. It can do everything. Parking, 5 out of 5. 360 camera, the remote parking. Economy, 4 out of 5. It's not electric, but it is a hybrid, so it's the second most efficient. And value, 5 out of 5. It's in the 30,000s with the Ultimate Edition, and that is unbelievable value. Big thank you to Brooklyn Hyundai Seaford. Please give them a visit, and thank you very much.